The gridiron, a test of strength, endurance, and commitment. 100 yards of broken tackles, clutch opportunities, and third down drives that turn men into champions. Football is America's pride and most watched sport, with over 1/3 of the country tuning in to watch the Saturday Frenzy, the Sunday Night Madness, or the Friday Night Lights. You can be sure to bet that when that victory bell rings, the rest of the city, state, or nation is right there with you. But for one athlete, the biggest challenge is to pick himself up and keep moving forward.
It was my 9th grade year, and I was kicking a field goal against the Rogers Mounties. I kicked it and I made it, but as soon as my foot came down on the ground, a dude dove at it and snapped it. It's broke in 6 places. I took 7 months to recover and actually be cleared to play, and I was on crutches for about the first 3 months. And I owe a lot of it to my friends and my family because they really helped me through all of it and all through my rehab.
7 months of rehab, intense physical training, not to mention the emotion and psychological battle within would break almost anyone. But for Jacob Robertson, quitting was never an option.
I never really thought about it because I love the sport and nothing can really keep me from it. I just wanted to come back stronger. I had to work out a lot, lots of rehab, but it was a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices, but that's what you need to play here at HAR-BER, lots of sacrifices.
Sacrifice, a key word that Jacob uses to not only be an impact player, but to help his team recognize that you need to play every game as if it were your last.
I think the injury really helped J-Rob in understanding that every play could be your last play. And he does not take for granted playing high school football. He goes out with a passion. He goes out there and plays hard every snap because he realizes that every snap could be his last. You never know what's going to happen. And he plays that way. You know, he has a passion for the game, and he's been given a second chance coming back off this injury because, you know, I think originally when he got injured, I don't think he was ever going to be, they said he probably wouldn't be able to play again. So, you know, he came back from this thing, got a second chance to play, do what he loves to do, and you can see that on the field as he plays because he plays with an intense passion. He goes as hard as he can all the time.
Through all the pain, all the wins, and even the losses, this injury has shaped his life and taught him one very valuable lesson.
Don't be negative about it, you know? It's not going to do anything but make you stronger if you think about it. You just got to have a good mindset towards it. You just got to be positive throughout the process. It's a lot of hard work, but I think you can overcome anything if you put your mind to it and if you really want to.
Life is full of challenges, disappointments, and sometimes upsets. But the one thing you can never lose is the ability to get up and try again. And for Jacob Robinson, his story has just begun. For WCSN, I'm Ashton Grace Brothers. 1,344 minutes, 42 games, 3 seasons. That is what a typical athlete in a 7A West will experience if they're lucky. But for one athlete, she rose above all others and is setting an example for not only her newfound teammates, but for future Wildcats for years to come.
Yeah, I watched JC when she was smaller, like playing with Sonics, and you know, we knew she had a lot of potential. So I just kept an eye on her and really watched her hard as a 7th and 8th grader at Central, and just decided that she would be our first 9th grader to move up because she had the potential to step, you know, just come out and help us immediately at the high school level.
I always wanted to play at HAR-BER, but I didn't know if it was going to happen, and I mean, it wasn't going to be a make it or break it deal if I didn't. I liked Central, but I really wanted to play for HAR-BER, and my biggest fear probably coming up for HAR-BER was if I was going to be accepted or not as a 9th grader, and thankfully I came up here, I proved my role, I came up here, and I was accepted.
For Coach Sandy Wright, she immediately recognized something much deeper than the simple talent of the game. It was a drive and determination that came from within.
First of all, she loves basketball, and that's, you know, she plays hard and gives it all she has every time she steps out on the court. She's a good ball handler and good shooter, and she has speed, and she's a 5'10" guard, so she had some good characteristics of being a good guard at the high school level.
Pure talent, honestly, when she walks out into the floor, you know that she's going to have a great game, and that's what's awesome. So her impact to the team is more bigger picture. She just helps us all out, and that's what's really cool about how she plays.
JC Higgins, the first freshman athlete to be given the opportunity to play at the varsity level, At just 14 years old, she quickly rose to be an inspiration for her teammates and a leader on and off the court.
Well, JC's vocal. She likes to talk, and she leads by example probably more than anything. And people can look at her other teammates and see that this is how hard I need to go. And I like that. She's a good quarterback.
You always need someone that's very talented at what they do and is able to keep that quiet. She knows she can score, but how she approaches that and how she carries herself with that is completely different than anybody else that I've played with.
I feel like going into practice with a winning mentality is really what sets me apart from a lot of people. I feel like I go in there and I work as hard as I can, and that pushes other people to work as hard as they can. So I feel like it's my role to lead the team.
With now over 3 years of experience at the varsity level, JC has learned opportunities like this come only to those who work for it. And one lesson that she has learned above all others are words that future Wildcats should take into consideration.
Just always be willing to put in hard work. You're not going to get good if you don't put in your hardest work. Don't ever goof off in practice, because practice is how you play, really. I've always learned that if you work hard, you play hard. If you mess up, then hustle always makes up for it.
With a history set, JC Higgins continues to demonstrate what it means to be a leader. Though the future is uncertain, the name JC Higgins will continue to echo through the halls of HAR-BER long after her years here with the Lady Wildcats. Be sure to look out for number 13, along with the rest of the Lady Wildcats. And remember, opportunities come for those who work for it. For WCSN, I'm Ashlyn Grace Brothers.